It's time to stop being mean to yourself. It's time to accept yourself with open arms. You are worthy of so much happiness and success, even if you don't believe it yet. In today's episode, we are going to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. How to stop thinking that you're not good enough. My name is Carissa Brown, and you're watching the Self-Care Conversations podcast. Hello, my beautiful angels, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited to dive into today's topic because it's something that I feel like so many people can relate to, no matter your gender, no matter your age. Self-esteem issues are so fucking real, and we all deal with them. Even people that seem the most confident, trust me, they have their bad days. But there's a difference between having a bad day and absolutely hating yourself. So today we're going to talk about ways that you can stop being so mean to yourself and give yourself a little bit of grace to know and understand that you are indeed good enough. So when it comes to our limiting beliefs, a lot of it has to do with self-sabotaging. I can't even tell you the amount of times that I have self-sabotaged in my life, from when I was a child and I would try new sports and just quit, or when I would start to see success in my business and I would have this fear of success and fear of failure, or how I constantly tell myself that I'm not fit enough to study to get my personal training certification yet. All of these limiting beliefs are honestly just self-sabotage that are getting in the way of me reaching my goals and loving myself to my fullest potential. I had so much self-sabotage and self-doubt, insecurities when it came to putting out this podcast. Here I am a few episodes in and I'm already feeling so much more confident, but it's absolutely insane to me how the last year and a half I've been saying that I wanted to come up with this podcast, and one day I just woke up and said, I'm just doing it. I was able to turn around an episode in under a week, open up my Instagram, my TikTok, edit everything, post everything in literally under a week, but yet I put off that goal of starting this podcast for almost 2 years. I let self-sabotage get in the way and I let my fears hold me back. I had gotten to a point in my life where I just felt like I was not able to accomplish anything that I wanted, and I just felt like I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough to do anything. It got so exhausting. So the first thing that I needed to do, which literally is always the first step to every problem that I have, and that's dive deep into why the fuck is this happening. Become aware of the negative things you're saying about yourself and write them down. So after you've written down the things that you think or say about or to yourself, I now want you to write next to every negative thing a positive thing to combat it. So if I wrote down, my thighs are big, my positive affirmation for that feeling would be, my legs are strong and get me to A to B. Switching the mindset of what you say and writing them down. After you have them written down and you've written down your affirmations to go with those negative comments, every morning when you're getting ready, I want you to say those positive affirmations to yourself in the mirror. And before you go and say that it's juju bullshit, I swear it's not. Just give it a try for a week and you will already start to see changes in the way that you view and talk to yourself. Have you ever heard the saying, tell yourself a lie so many times that you'll start to believe it? I kind of think about this with affirmations. Tell yourself affirmations so much that you'll actually start to believe that. If you are telling yourself every morning, I am beautiful and worthy of happiness, you will then feel beautiful and worthy to receive happiness. Another quote that comes to mind is, what we think we become. That's a perfect example about how our thoughts become our reality. The next thing you're gonna need to do is dive deep. Where are these self-esteem issues coming from in the first place? For me, I was obsessed growing up with being skinny. I grew up in the 2000s, so seeing movies and TV shows where slightly bigger girls, which most of the time weren't even big, would be shamed or made fun of. In the 2000s, skinny was in and curvy was out. And if you know anything about me, I am very curvy. I have always been curvy, even when I was at my fittest, when I was in sports. I have just always had a curvier body. So I never fit that stereotype, so I was so obsessed with trying to. I realized that that's where my bad self-esteem problems came from. It also came from toxic family members that were obsessed with being skinny, who would comment on the fact that I wasn't the skinniest. All of these things had an impact onto how I was feeling. So when I was able to kind of dive deep and look at all of the things that I was avoiding looking at, like where these negative self-esteem problems came from, I was able to kind of forgive and move forward. And from there, you're able to then set boundaries with either yourself or the people around you, if you still have those negative people in your life that make you think that weight is equivalent to your worth. Acknowledging that they are the reason you're feeling those bad feelings about yourself, that's what's going to help you be able to make boundaries with that person. Because now that you're aware that they're the reason that you're feeling like shit, maybe we can take a little bit of a break from hanging out with them for a while. Now, this is honestly my biggest tip. This is the thing that has helped me more than anything when it comes to my confidence, when it comes to my growth, when it comes to not looking at myself like I am worthless. And that is being the person you want to be. I've talked about this in previous episodes, how I fixate on trying to become my alter ego. When I'm about to perform a bad habit, or if I'm slacking or feeling like I don't want to push through when it comes to achieving my goals or routines for that day, I ask myself, what would my alter ego do? And 9 times out of 10, I end up choosing the productive choice and I feel 10 times better afterwards. For me, a good challenge is a great kickstart to changing my life. Setting small goals and keeping up with my routines actually help my self-esteem and boost my confidence. Something I like to do every day is focus on mind, body, and soul. I do one thing for my mind, one thing for my body, and one thing for my soul every day. It can change. It doesn't have to be a hardcore workout, but I found that moving my body is really key to me feeling confident. Not because I feel like I look skinnier when I move, but because I'm releasing endorphins when I'm working out. This relates back to that quote that I used earlier from the 101 Essays That Change the Way You Think. Your habits create your mood, and having low self-esteem is just a feeling. And if you can combat that feeling by implementing healthy habits, why wouldn't you, right? So after you become aware of all of the negative things that you're saying to yourself, you've taken a deep dive into where these negative self-esteem issues came from. I know that with social media, toxic environments, unsupportive people, and so many other reasons, feeling good about yourself can feel really hard in a world full of people who can hide their insecurities. All of us go through insecurities and having self-esteem issues. For some, it may be worse than for others, but I promise you're not alone and you will get through this. I hope that these tips will help you feel better about yourself because you really are a badass bitch. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. It was a little bit of a shorter one. I wanted to make these tips super easy and obtainable for you guys, and I didn't want to put too much information into this episode. So if there's anything else that you want me to dive into when it comes to this specific topic, please let me know. Don't forget to give us a follow on TikTok and Instagram under Self-Care Conversations. Bye!